Hi there. So let's continue where we left off with Luna and advanced MIDI controllers, iPad and touchscreen, and let's dive into Luna to continue this journey. Okay, next we will look into StreamDeck, and that is yet another controller where you can configure macros and keyboard shortcuts. And this device has like different type of configurations. I have the one that has like 15 buttons. Anyway, you can build here also menu screens and things like that. So if I go into the edit mode, I can go into the edit window. Then if I bounce back, I go into the main view. And here, of course, you can configure and create different type of macros that you want to use, and key commands, so that you can basically then through this StreamDeck also you can use your Digital Audio Workstation. So for example, if I would like to now add a new track, I can go and press that button, or a new bus, so same thing, I can do that. So I have just basically mapped them into the equivalent keyboard shortcuts in Luna. And all in all, this is very versatile. You can do many things. You could also have MIDI controls sent from here. So for that, you need to basically install an external or additional system component that then supports MIDI. And then you are able to also send MIDI commands from here to your Digital Audio Workstation. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. And then of course the working with it is quite natural in that sense that if I just do an example, let's just create a new track. So for like, let's go over here, and then I press create a new track. It will open a new track to be created. Then I can say that, okay, let's do an instrument and then a stereo one, and then okay. So now I have the instrument track created. Also, if I want to then create a bus, I just select the certain tracks that I want to create the bus for. I press that one, and then I can create a bus for that, for those tracks. Then basically when then we look from here, I have if I have like multiple windows open, which I can have like this, I can then with this I can close them all. I can open them again, so close all and open works same way. I can also close the last one that I opened, so I basically I'm able to control that, so that if I need some visibility in my Digital Audio Workstation, I can just basically say that close all and they all disappear, and so. But anyway, this is pretty much how you can use these type of controllers to control your Digital Audio Workstation. StreamDeck is pretty awesome. It's quite nice supported and also works with many Digital Audio Workstations. I've been using it, of course, with Luna, and it makes certain things very handy. Mainly I use it for the edit controls, so that I can quickly do edit things and edit things in here. So that's like my main go-to, and also create tracks and new buses. So I have configured certain controls in here. On top, I'm using the MetaGrid that you already see earlier in the videos, going through this advanced MIDI controllers, iPads, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's StreamDeck. Let's move on. All right, next in line we have an advanced MIDI controller that is a fader controller. With the faders, of course, you can manage your mixer, and this has 8 faders. Then additionally, you can create and configure here your transport controls and different other keyboard shortcuts or macros that you run when pressing these keys. Then you can control your plugins over here, your automation like trim and so on and so forth. So this is an extremely good and rigid controller as a fader controller. and then of course linked nicely with your DAW. They come with this 360 software that in which you can configure everything. So you can configure these keyboard shortcuts. You can also utilize already defined DAW commands that are there given by factory. And so you can basically go here and modify things. For example, if I would like to change that save version is red, and then if I go now into that, so I see that that is now red. Export is blue, or why not a green, and then add a bookmark is a yellow. So now I have red, green and yellow. I have dimmed this, so that's why they are like quite mildly visual, but you can see definitely the colors over there. And in that respect, this is extremely convenient to use and configure. Everything here is pretty much configurable, so you can, all these pages that you have here, you can configure for your own needs. And nowadays they even added a functionality that you can override the things that you were not previously able to override. So you can override even every factory setting that you have, you can work with and override that for your own needs, which is extremely handy. So yeah, that's basically the fader controller and the program. Let's look it a bit in action, so that just for you to see that, like, I go here, I can change view between, you know, between the main view and the edit view and a mixer view. Then I can, that was the main spill command, so that everything that is routed to main will only be visual. So the ones that go into the bus will be hidden. And then you can only now control these three with faders, and so you can create these. And so if you have buses, like you have buses for bus for drum, bus for instrument, and so on. So when you press this spill, you only see pretty much buses over here, and you can deal with the bus mix. And then when you disable that, you see every channel, every track in your project here again, and you can scroll them through or page. So all that works nicely. I have also shown how to configure this in a video where I discussed about configuring MIDI devices and configuring MIDI for Luna. So you would like to check out that session if you want to see that, you know, how easy actually this is to be configured with your Luna. And so there are not many steps. But yeah, that's about fader controller. So let's move on. So one interesting hybrid is a decibel monitoring system that is pretty much as a VST. So you basically add the VST into your system, and like so. For example, in your main channel you have the plugin here. So it's a VST and audio unit plugin that you can add into any point actually in your project. I use it mainly in the master, and then the good thing with this one is that you can basically select that what is your view, and then the iPad will reflect that accordingly. So when you have set, you know, what monitor you would like to use, you could actually have multiple monitors, iPads linked into the system, so that different iPads show a different view, because you can have multiple of these views. What I usually do is that in my iPad I have I'm using it as a VU meter, so I have that configured into my master channel as a first plugin. So I see all the time that, you know, what is the kind of the level that the audio is coming into my master, and then I usually have another set of decibel in the end of the chain to see that actually what goes then out from the master. But now if I play, even though I closed, of course, the window, and of course this takes landscape in your in your working area, so you can close the window, but you still see the monitor, of course, in the iPad. So now when you play, you can actually see the view meters, and you don't need to keep the plugin open, or any of these. Of course, it doesn't have to be the view meter, but it can be any of these that you have configured your to your needs. So then basically that gets displayed, and so you can do kind of real-time monitoring while not keeping the plugin open. And that's actually extremely good, because you want to monitor what goes in, what comes out, and you don't want to keep the plugins open, taking the landscape from your Digital Audio Workstation. So yeah, let's move on. So one thing for us to look at still is the touchscreen monitors and how to use touchscreen monitors in your music production. Luna is actually extremely good to use in touch screen because the buttons and things are quite sizable, so you can easily touch things in Luna and control things in it. So also, like, the buttons are designed to be big enough to be used as is. You can also quite nicely work with the faders, and then of course you can bring different type of commands into the touchscreen that help you with the workflow. So basically, you know, if you touchscreen tap, you change between the views and things like that. All those you can program into the touchscreen and into the settings of it. So all those are easily configured here, and they are program specific. So you can have own configuration for live and own configuration for Luna. So all that is there pre-programmed, and so like 2-finger tap will start play and stop play when you need to do that. Then also like all that can be configured. One thing actually is good to know that Raven not yet is supporting Luna. I heard though that the next version of Raven, the 4.0, will support Luna going forward. However, you can use Luna with the touchscreen monitor already very fluently, and you can do all the stuff here. All you need is basically this UPDD driver that can be downloaded from the UPDD site. So if you search a UPDD for a Mac to use, so the only thing that you need is a touchscreen, and then you hook that into your Mac, and then you use the UPDD, and then you are pretty much all set. So you can use with this driver, you can use it without Raven, you can use the touchscreen with Luna. And that really does also help in the workflow, because you can then easily do things here like muting or soloing things, playing with your faders or your panning, and also, you know, change all kind of things easily from the screen itself, like even pressing the play from here or enabling the loop and so on and so forth. So what I like about Luna is that it's very touchscreen friendly, and you can easily, you know, adjust and work with the touchscreen, which makes it great in that respect. So that it kind of feels also like a console in or kind of a console. So you can touch things and you know, work with the buttons and faders and rotary controllers and okay, whatever there is at hand. But yeah, that basically is it with the touchscreen. I will put the link below about the UPDD driver that you can download and buy as its own. And then on top of that, you of course need a touchscreen if you wanna go into touchscreen and using a touchscreen in your music creation. Alrighty, that was Universal Audio Luna and how to utilize advanced MIDI controllers, touchscreen and iPad in your music production. Next we will dive into Cubase and see how to use these type of devices with Cubase. So remember to subscribe for the channel for more content. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.